Hey everybody, this is Mr. McKee again with SEC 210. Today I'm going to be going over lab 9.3.8, which is exploring Nmap. Alright, doing a little port scanning. Alright, so basically port scanning is usually part of a reconnaissance attack. There are a variety of port scanning methods that can be used. We'll explore how to use the Nmap utility. Nmap is a powerful network utility that is used for network discovery and security auditing. And we're using our CBROPS workstation VM and the internet. Alright, so the first thing we're going to be doing is exploring Nmap. In this part you will use manual pages or manu pages for short to learn more about Nmap. Alright, so basically at the terminal prompt, and I'm going to click on that and open it. I'm going to type in man for manual and then space Nmap. Right. It shows me the Nmap reference guide. Alright, and these reference guides, basically it'll have you the name, alright, what it is, a network exploration tool and security port scanner, alright, description, has a synopsis too. If you go down, it has all the options, and you can search, it tells you how to search. Alright, there's a whole bunch of stuff there. Learning the right options, how to put those all the different options in there to sort by what you want to look for is super important. We have a lot of different options. Same thing with Wireshark and Nmap, both. Alright, so you should be able to answer what is Nmap, and it's basically right there, but you guys should look this up yourselves. Alright, what is it used for? Alright, for network exploration and security auditing. And basically you can find out what ports are open, if they should be open, ones that might be open and shouldn't be open, etc. Alright, while in the man page you can use the up and down arrow keys to scroll through the pages. Alright, so I'm going down arrow, up arrow. Alright, you can also do the space bar. Notice one page at a time. You can search for the specific term or phrase. Enter the / or the question mark followed by the term or phrase. The / searches forward through the document, and the question mark searches backwards through the document. The N key moves to the next match. And if I type in here, / and notice it shows at the very bottom. Type in example. Alright, and it found the instances of example used in the manual page. Right, in the first instance example, you see 3 matches. Which here, let me do it again, / example. Page down a little bit. So there's a whole bunch of stuff you can see, and see how there's examples in there. Alright. And then you can, to move to the next match, just do N. Notice I can keep following the example. Right. Look at example 1. What is the Nmap command used? Alright, and what I did, I went to the very top of the document, and then so I match exactly what it's showing here. Alright, there's the very first 3 instances of example. Alright, so notice the representative Nmap scan. Alright, And notice right here, uppercase A, used to enable OS and version detection, script scanning, and traceroute. T4 is used for faster execution, and then the host name. All right, so Nmap is the program -A and -T4, and then you're scanning the actual host name you want to scan. All right, so should be able to answer those two questions because I actually just showed them to you. All right, scroll through the page to learn more about Nmap. All right, you guys go ahead and look down through there. But a lot of times, probably the best thing to do is when you're going to use it and you want to do something specific, that's when you actually go down here and look for it. Just looking down through here, not having really a specific reason for it, it's kind of tough sometimes. All right, but this shows you an example, and that's what you'll see, what output you get. Notice port, like the SSH port's open. It tells you the service, the version. All right, the encryption keys. Port 80 HTTP. Web server is running, and it shows some other ones too. All right. Let's see, they're running Linux, version, stuff like that. All right, all sorts of good stuff. The big thing is you'll get too much stuff, so you need to filter it by what you want. All right, review the results and answer the following questions so you can see what ports are open. Under the state, it lists open. And some of these options will actually show every single port, and it'll show you which ports are closed too. See 995 ports closed, or closed ports. It'll show you that also. All right. So which ports and services are open? For each of the open ports, record the software that is providing the services. All right, so write all those down. All right, so scan your network. Before using Nmap on any network, please gain the permission of the network owners before proceeding. Yeah, because especially a lot of your security software and hardware will pick this up, and they might get mad at you. All right. At the terminal command prompt, enter IP address to determine the IP address and subnet mask for the host. So did it tell us to... So right down here, press Q to quit. All right, so I quit out of the manual page for Nmap. All right, so I do IP address. All right, notice right here, let's see. All right, and their example 10.0.2.15, mine's different. All right, record the IP address and subnet mask for your VM. All right, so IP address, there's a CIDR notation. You can calculate the subnet mask from that. It's a 255.255.255.0. Which network does your VM belong to? Well, you can tell that from this anyways, but does it show the... It doesn't show the network, but it shows the broadcast. It shows the IP address on the network, and you just have to figure out, okay, what's your subnet, and you can determine your network from that. All right. Hopefully, you guys, even if you haven't taken the networking class, you should be able to hopefully figure that out. And basically that 24 means 24 of the 32 bits of the IP address are used for the network. So that would be the 192.168.254, and the last 8 bits, which have 256 possible addresses and 254 usable addresses because you have a network address and a broadcast address, those are available. All right, and this shows you the broadcast address right here. All right. and actually it has there's a link local IP version 6 address also. Okay. Right, so to locate the host on this LAN, enter Nmap space, in this case sensitive, because we're using Linux, T4, alright, 192.168.224. In this one, yours would be different, .0 with a prefix, 24. Alright, the last octet of the IP address should be replaced with a 0. For example, the IP address 10.0.2.15, the .15 is the last octet. Therefore, the network address is 10.0.2.0. The 24 is called the prefix and is a shorthand for the net mask of the 255.255.255.0. If your VM has a different net mask, search the internet for a CIDR conversion table to find your prefix. For example, 255.255.0.0 is 16. The network address that is using an example. This operation can take some time, especially if you have many devices attached to the network. In one test environment, the scan took about 4 minutes. Mine shouldn't take that long either. I'm going to pause the video while it's doing it though. Alright guys, actually my scan took a lot longer than I thought. Alright, so 1662 seconds. So hopefully if you do this at home on your private network, it shouldn't take that long. But if you notice, let me just find one entry, like say .251 on my network. I found a bunch of stuff. Port 80 is open, port 443 is open. Let's see. Actually, you know what? This is that's my printer. Alright, but you can see that. You can see a whole bunch of good stuff about different units. Now this right here is a camera. I can just tell by ubiquity and tell by the common name. Port 22 is open, port 80, 443, running Linux. And that's about it. Let me get back here. Alright, where's my instructions? There we go. Alright. So how many hosts are up? That's going to depend on your network. Right here it found on my network 47 hosts are up. Alright. From the Nmap results, list the IP addresses of the hosts that are on the same LAN as your VM. List some of the services that are available on the detected hosts. Alright, so we just list some of the services. It's kind of like what ports, your printer, things like that. All your answers will depend on your current network. Alright, so then step 3 is scan a remote server. Okay, so it wants us to go to scan me. I'm going to open up my browser. There we go. Firefox is up. Alright, got it. scanme.nmap.org. Alright, that takes you to the Nmap website. Alright, read the post's message. Alright, basically they set up Nmap to help people learn about Nmap, and well, they set the website to learn about Nmap and also to test to make sure that their Nmap installation is working properly. You're authorized to scan this machine with Nmap or other port scanners. Try not to hammer on our server too hard. A few scans in a day is fine, but don't scan 100 times a day or use the site to test your SSH brute force password cracking tools. All right. So go back to the command prompt. I'm going to minimize that. All right, so we're going to do it, and I can do up arrow. All right, so it's going to be Nmap, in the A option, T4 option, scan me.nmap.org. All right, and what we're looking for is this output. And if you notice, looking down through here in the instructions, port 22 is open, so I can SSH into it. Email, port 25. 480, they have a whole bunch of these ports are open. Alright, what'd you get? So currently, let's see, port 22 is open, open SSH, running on Ubuntu, port 80, actually running Apache 9929, nping, TCP/RAP 31337. Alright, so pretty much more or less the same. Some of these ports aren't open anymore. 135, 139, 445, but for the most part they're about the same. Alright, which ports and services are open? You can look on that on yours. Which port and services are filtered? Alright, notice up here you can go by this, filtered. You can go by that example. It's going to be different. Let's see, what is the IP address of the server? Alright, you can see as soon as it scans, alright, Nmap scan report for scanme.nmap.org, and there's the IP address 45.33.32.156. Alright, what is the operating system? Should be Ubuntu because I'm seeing, yep. See right here, Ubuntu. Alright. And then reflection question, Nmap is a powerful tool for network exploration and management. How can Nmap help with network security? Well, kind of like it gives you visibility into your network to see what's what ports are open, what ports are closed, things like that. How can Nmap be used by a threat actor as a nefarious tool? Well, the same way he or she can tell what ports are open so you can try to exploit those ports. Because if you know, like say, port, you can't SSH into the device, if that was turned off, you couldn't remote into it using SSH. So that would be one avenue, maybe the web server, things like that. Alright, so that's it. Thanks for watching.